The end of the end of day homeroom ends, and students start to file out of the classroom. Normally, I would go to the student council room, but I decided to go home since Tasaka told me to. Man, come on, have some spirit, have some independence. Quit being such a pushover. The gate is still locked. Alright, it's been a while since I came home this early. I usually help out doing odd jobs, or go to a part-time job, so it's rare for me to come straight home from school. I usually find the gate unlocked and Sakura preparing dinner inside. I've gotten so used to it after a year, I've forgotten how important coming home early can be. Even the simple act of opening a locked gate makes you realize how thankful I should be for Sakura coming here. I'm home. I step into the hallway as I call out. The moment I enter the living room, I see the blonde girl. You are back, Master. For a split second, as I see Saber, I feel like I've been hurled into a dream or some sort of fantasy. Shiro, did you just get home? She calls my name in a quiet voice. I finally come back to reality. Oh, Saber, sorry, you're surprisingly popping up so suddenly like that. Just for an instant, I mistook her for a normal girl rather than Saber. Oh, your orders for me to stay here. Was I mistaken? Oh, no, I just got confused. Don't worry about it. But how are you feeling, Saber? You said you were going to sleep a lot, so does that mean now you're... There's no problem with me being awake now. Well, it would be ideal for me to sleep except when fighting, but that would leave me rusty. I should move around periodically, or my body will not be properly responsive when I most need it. Got it. You have a point there. You get a headache if you sleep all day, and I'm sure you're not sleeping because you're sleepy. Yes, that's true. I do not sleep because I get fatigued. But Shiro, did you say you get a headache when you sleep too much? Don't you? People don't typically do well if they sleep a good chunk of the day. In my case, I'll get woken up by a headache, so I can't sleep for more than half a day. How strange. That never happened to me. I've always been able to sleep as much as I like, both now and in the past. Isn't like even when you're like, just like your whatever historical figure you were? Huh. That doesn't sound particularly efficient, Saber. Sleeping all day would be a waste. Wouldn't it be more fun to wake up and play if you weren't sleepy? You may be right. You waste less time that way. Right. You may have been forced to do this because you're with me, but once your contract with me ends, you should go back to your normal lifestyle and cycle. It may not be my place to say, but if this becomes a habit and you sleep all day, people might start thinking you're lazy. It may in fact be too late. Some may already see me that way. Who? She thinks about it and furrows her brow. I thought this was just idle chit-chat, but Saber doesn't really seem to get jokes. We move to the living room. Saber looks like she wants to know what happened today, so I decide to tell her about the bounded field at school, just like warned me about. I see. That master must be planning to use the people inside the school as a sacrifice. To be blunt, probably, yeah. Just like I said, it needs more time, though. I agree. Completing a bounded field that large should take a considerable amount of time. It is possible to enclose a school building, so it was most likely chosen to function in a manner similar to a temple altar. I believe it would take at least 10 days to fully activate a bounded field of that scale. 10 days. I felt something strange 2 days ago on Saturday, so that means you still have about 8 more days. That lines up with Tosaka's estimate. Yes, whether that bounded field is meant to gather sacrifices or is intended to solidify the opponent's defenses, both will pose a problem for us if we permit its completion. We will need to find the master who created this bounded field before that happens. Yeah, Tosaka said it would be challenging, but it should be easy to identify someone if they're lurking in the school. We need to do everything we can to find them and make them stop the bounded field. The chances of them being someone from school are pretty high, considering where they set up their bounded field. High, but not necessarily, like, certain. Because if you're a person, right, and you're just like, I need to set up a bounded field somewhere for sacrifices, and think, okay, what's a place I know that during, like, a specific time is going to have a lot of people in it? School would certainly fit the bill. Right, I mean, there are plenty of other places you could pick, like an office building or something, but one of the nice things at a school is, like, A, you know, lots of people there, like, all the time, but B, typically schools have their, like, schedules and any days they have off or closed that publicly available. They kind of have to be. Whereas, like, you know, a commercial office or something isn't going to be distributing a memo, like, to people outside of the company of like, oh yeah, by the way, we're taking this day off. Anyways, a student or teacher, starting tomorrow, I'll search the school as thoroughly as I can during lunch and try to find anyone suspicious. Other than that, we'll need to figure out what kind of servant they have with them. Then again, we'll know that once we found them. Then the only other thing I can do right now is to think about the servants I've encountered already. Saber's awake, so now's my chance to ask her about them. Okay, then. Now, this might be a thing where we can just ask about all of them. Let's get an update on Berserker. Berserker's obviously the one that we're most concerned about right now. That's giant. I should ask about the servant who overwhelmed Saber. Berserker. According to Saber and Tosaka, he is likely the strongest servant, if only in battle. Saber, what would happen if you fought against Berserker again? Would you not be able to win with me as your master? I'm Saber's greatest weakness. So ask whether she is unable to demonstrate her full potential just because she formed a contract with an inexperienced master like me. That is not the case, Shiro. Even if you are a prepared and experienced master, that do not alter the fact that Berserker is an extremely powerful foe. You need not blame yourself, or your own immaturity as master in this matter. That may be true, but it doesn't change the fact that you have a lot of limitations placed on you. So let's say you're at your full potential. No. Even were I at my full potential, it would still be difficult to defeat Berserker. Or rather, it is likely impossible for any servant to corner that giant. So we lose then? Like, what are we doing? Shiro, do you remember the battle last night? Berserker easily deflected Rin's CMeeCraft attack. However, he does not have magic resistance like I do. What are you implying? He simply nullified Rin's CMeeCraft with his own brute strength. You can do that? Huh. I did see that, but is that surprising? That just means Berserker's body is tough, right? No, that is not right. Berserker did not endure Rin's CMeeCraft, he simply repelled it. There is a significant difference. If he had endured the attack, it would mean that his armor would eventually break, if a single spot were attacked repeatedly. repelling it is another matter entirely. That means Rin's Magecraft never reached Berserker to begin with. Interesting. Could his master have been helping in that regard, maybe? Didn't reach? Does that mean he nullified Magecraft like you do? Yes, but as I mentioned earlier, Berserker does not possess magic or resistance. That can only mean his noble phantasm was what repelled Magecraft. I can only speculate, but Berserker's noble phantasm may be his armor. It may not just be any armor, but close to a theoretical Magecraft called conceptual weapon. Berserker likely possesses an ability to nullify all types of attacks that are below a certain threshold. That may be why my sword and Rin's Magecraft did not get through. Okay. If Berserker is indeed the hero from Greece, his abilities are likely to be rank A. If we want to injure him, we likely have to use an attack that is at least of the same level as him. An attack of the same rank? Does that mean... Yes. I hesitate to say this, but it is like that he would nullify any attack, whether it be a normal attack or a noble phantasm, below rank A. If we mean to defeat that giant, we will need a normal attack that is at least rank A, as well as a noble phantasm that exceeds that level. Interesting. I close my eyes and remember Saber's abilities. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, Saber's abilities. I know we already looked at these, but skills. Resistance is an attack. And she's got Mana Burst, right? That's something. No Phantasm, only a C rank? Yeah. An Archer might. Magic resistance, independent. We know very little. Okay, apparently we don't know much about Archer, and he's actually very unimpressive. He has magic resistance D. Ew. And independent action B. The ability to be independent for a while, even if the supply of magical energy from his master runs out. So that he can stay in the world for 2 days if he loses his master. Well, good to know. Saber's strength, her normal attacks are rank B, and her noble phantasm is rank C. Unbelievable. If what Saber's saying is true, there's no way we can even hurt Berserker, let alone defeat him. Well, wait a minute, are the standards for strength and noble phantasms measured differently? Even if their ranks are low, aren't noble phantasms powerful weapons? So, if you converted strength, wouldn't it at least be rank A? Yes, noble phantasms are not comparable to normal attacks. A noble phantasm rank C is equivalent to an A or A plus rank in normal abilities. Okay. But the logic that protects Berserker operates beyond the scope of reality. Huh? Even if a noble phantasm is strong enough to destroy the world, if it is below rank A, the idea is that it will still be nullified. Then the next time we're attacked will be our last. We'll die. No. No matter who the heroic spirit is, they will always have a weakness. At the very least, Berserker does not possess an attack that is at an anti-fortress level. We should be able to avoid being wiped out by a single attack. Once my wounds have completely healed, I should be able to fight more evenly in a one-on-one match against him. You should be able to retreat during that time, or I might be able to find an opportunity to win if I have some form of backup. Or we could poison him, right? Mythologically, historically, poison is what does Heracles in. So, if we could find a way to poison him, maybe. Poison-tipped arrows from Archer, perhaps? We'll see. So, ultimately, retreating is what I have to do, huh? So, until then, we need to find out Berserker's weakness. So, Saber, what is an anti-fortress attack? It is a type of attack power and range of a noble phantasm. Anti-personnel noble phantasms shine in single combat. Anti-army noble phantasms wreak havoc on entire groups of enemies. And anti-fortress noble phantasms wipe out massive areas in a single blow. Noble phantasms largely fall into these three categories. I see. Anti-army and anti-fortress attacks, just from their names, sounds like giant missiles. They'd wipe out Tosaka and me in an instant. Luckily, Berserker doesn't have any attacks like that. But that is where the Master comes in to compensate. Eliasville has a tremendous amount of magical energy. She is a skilled mage, and were Berserker concentrating on protecting her, I'd most likely be unable to protect you. Alright, I guess that is another option, right? We don't need to kill... We don't need to kill Berserker if we can just kill Eliasville. Right, if we can kill the Master. In theory. Right, that's the main goal. I see. Berserker isn't our only concern. Master and servant are one. I and Saber's weakness in that regard too. They're operating by Skyrim logic. Seems like it. That's nice. You know, everything's all easy and quantifiable. So about the other servants. Please wait, sir. Someone has entered the gate of this property. What? You can sense something like that? Yeah, she's got like precognition, remember? Oh crap, it's already so late. This is bad. Sakura must be back. Am I about to have even more explaining to do? The doorbell rings, and from the front entrance, I hear Sakura's voice. I'm coming in. Saber, sorry, but, yes, I know. I will retire to my room, so please do not mind me. Saber goes back to her room. Almost as if switching with Saber. I'm home. Good, good. You came home early like I asked you to. Tosaka walks in, laden with shopping bags. Thank you for having me again, Senpai. It's rare for you to be home so early. Sakura walks in, smiling happily. Okay, everything is ready. I'm going to get started. Tosaka psychs herself up and heads to the kitchen. Senpai, about dinner tonight. You don't have to worry about it since it's Tosaka's turn today. You prepared breakfast for us, so leave dinner to us. She and I will handle dinner while Tosaka's staying here. Oh, very well. If you say so, then I will have to oblige. Sakura quietly sits down. I hear a fiery, boisterous sound coming from the kitchen, but I see nothing of Tosaka. I guess I can trust her. I should stay in my room until dinner's ready, considering Saber's waiting there. I'm going to rest in my room. If Fujini comes, tell her she should prepare the bath herself for a change. Oh, okay. Please go relax, Senpai. I'll come and get you once dinner's ready. That won't be necessary. I'll know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't forget to knock when you come into my room. It's a little before 6 o'clock. I figured dinner will be ready at around 7 o'clock. I return to my room and find Saber sleeping in the room next door. Bummer. I thought I could talk to her a little more. I click my tongue with disappointment and sit down. Wait a minute. What am I thinking? There's nothing else I can talk to her about apart from the Holy Grail War. Besides, I don't know how to act around Saber. Oh well, if she's asleep, I'll just let her rest. I mutter to myself and stare at the hands of the clock. Last night, Saber, Tosaka, and I ate dinner. But today, Sakura and Fujini are in the mix as well, making it 5 people. Oh, actually, Saber can't join. I can't keep that up forever, can we? As long as Fujini and Sakura are out, I can't have Saber come out of her room. I'd have Saber ate breakfast. Last night, Saber was nodding while eating her dinner. Based on her behavior, it's not like she doesn't need food. I didn't prepare lunch for her, so she must be hungry. Once Fujini and Sakura are home, I should warm some dinner up for Saber. She'll have to eat alone, but there's nothing we can do about that. It's just... Watching Saber eating by herself is making me mad. Sure, are you awake? Tosaka knocks on my door and peeks her head in. Tosaka, what's going on? Nothing, dinner is ready, so come on out. I thought Sakura was gonna get me. Huh. It's already that time? I pick myself up, glance towards Saber's room, and head into the hallway. Oh, there you are, looking at all the dishes. Can you believe it? Tosaka can cook Chinese cuisine. Something that has long been absent from our menu. See, aren't you glad that you allowed her to live here? Fujini dances excitedly around the table, which is laid out with dinner. Now that she mentions it, it does all look to be Chinese dishes today. 4 big plates decorate the table. Crab meat with egg omelet, shredded beef with green peppers, a vegetable stir-fry with some fancy meat I've never seen before, and for some reason, a plate full of steamed choux mein. Salad has been served on individual plates for everyone, and the setup seems to have been well thought out. It's pretty extravagant. Fujini loves it. This is a surprise. I thought you'd make something Western. Oh, she did consider making Western dishes, but when I mentioned that no one in this household makes Chinese dishes, she volunteered to make some. Why would she set out to do something no one else does? Hey, Sakura, you and Tosaka came home at the same time. Did you two go shopping together or something? Did you check the servant profiles yet? I read like half of them, so if I read Berserkers and Sabers, figure out that it was getting to be a little... I don't want to just info dump all of them at once though, so we'll read the others when they're a bit later. Yes, Miss Tosaka waited for me until the Kyoto Club practice ended, and we decided to shop for groceries on our way home. Well, they seem to be getting along. That's good. I had no idea. Looks like you two are closer than I thought. That may be true. Miss Tosaka speaks to me often at school, too. I don't make her take a liking to me, but she has been very kind to me ever since I came to this school. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm probably wrong. But yeah, you know me, I love making my bold predictions. So, Tosaka, just like randomly, like, has a decent relationship with Sakura. Now, it could be argued, because I think it's, you know, they both, I think, have an association with the Kyoto Club, so that could be why. Or, is it possible Sakura is the other mage in the school, and Tosaka's, you know, has befriended her to kind of just keep an eye on her like she was doing with me? That seems so plausible. Okay, anyways. Huh. So Tosaka really is a nice upperclassman. Enough yapping, let's eat! I'm so hungry! Fidgety sits down excitedly. You heard her. You two should sit down. Chinese food gets criminally bad when it's cold. Tosaka sits down after she tells us to do the same. I sit down without a word. Everyone bows and thanks Tosaka for cooking, then starts eating. Whoa. I hate to admit it, but it's good. I've never cooked Chinese food because I've always thought it all tastes the same, but Tosaka's dishes made me realize it had all just been bias on my part, and I found myself regretting that. Wow, this is amazing. It's been a while since I've had a dish that goes so well with rice. Yep, I'm giving you full marks for this one. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to get such an honest opinion from someone like you. Yes, I also see Chinese food in a new light. I'm usually like eating spicy dishes, but this is delicious. Sakura looks pleased, seeming to enjoy the food too. After seeing everyone's happy faces, Tosaka... She turns to face me, her face triumphant. What? You look like you have something to say. Nothing. I'm just glad everyone liked it. Well, there's one person not being honest at his feelings, but it's amusing to me, so I'll let it slide. I understand how bad it must feel to be beaten at something you're good at. Hey, you saying you're cooking better than me? It's different. It's not better, it's different. I get it. You made me cook dinner last night because you wanted to assess my cooking. Okay, today's lesson. Never let anyone see your plans or potential. Tosaka returns to her food, looking exceedingly pleased with herself. Whatever. She can gloat. We got good food out of it, so that's what matters, really. Dinner is a bit livelier than I expected. Sakura and Tosaka are acting like good upper and underclassmen, and Fujini is now completely on Tosaka's side. Well, I have no complaints at getting to enjoy a good meal. There are no complaints, but I can't feel unreservedly good about sharing a meal with everyone here. I stand up. Are you going to the bathroom, Shira? No, I just forgot something. I'm going to bring them out now, so wait. The moment I step out of the living room, I look eyes with Tosaka, who is looking at me silently. Okay, get ready for some more fireworks. I just didn't think it was right. That's why. And like the fact that I was making her sit alone, even though she's living with us. I mean, honestly, like, we couldn't have kept this a secret forever, so might as well get it over with. And I mean, if they could accept, like, one girl living in the house, then why not two? So without really considering the consequences of my actions, I take her hand. Shiro, what are you doing? Just come with me. I'm going to introduce you to everyone. Well, hold on. Before we do this, though. Wait. What are we introducing her as? Like, I know we've been calling her Saber, but that's like a title. That we can't... Like, I can't introduce her to Sakura as, hey, this is my friend Saber. Like, we need a name, like an alias or something. Have you lost your mind? Please wait, I'm bringing you out because I am thinking straight. Come on, let's go. I can deal with whatever happens after. Wait, Shiro. I'm still dragging her along by the time we reach the living room. Hey guys, guess what? I'm also doing, I don't know, human trafficking. This is the other girl that lives here. Sorry, Tasaka, can you add one more plate for her? Tasaka doesn't object. But Fujini and Sakura are looking at Saber in confused astonishment. You don't say, you don't say. I know it's a little late, but I want to introduce her to you all. Okay, we are literally just calling her Saber. Okay, her name is Saber, and I'm going to be taking care of her for a while. As you can see, she's a foreigner and not used to living in Japan, so please help her with that. I don't know, the gray sprites, they got me. They got me good there. The two don't react. It's understandable, but I can't really find it in me to care right now. Go on, sit over here, Saber. It's better when you eat with everyone. It is true that it would be more efficient, but there's no need to be bashful. You're going to be living with us from now on, too, so, you know, if we're going to live together, we should eat together, too. Yes, if you say so, I will have to oblige. Pet Archer is either freaking out or laughing his head off in spirit form. Yeah, probably. You can't do... Oh. You can't do that! My ears! My ears are ringing. What has gotten into you, Shira? First thing to suck here to stay, and now her too? When did this place turn into a hotel? It's a fair question. What? It's fine. This place is as big as a hotel anyway, so it's no big deal to give up a room or two. If you're okay with Tasaka's thing here, then Saber should be fine too. I mean, this is different, right? Tasaka is someone that she, like, knows and is comfortable with. Saber is literally a complete stranger. So... Of course not, I agree with Tasaka, but I know nothing about this complete stranger. Just who is this girl anyway? She's Saber. She's a fencing champion from, or not fencing champion from, I don't know, what are we gonna say, France or something? Maybe. Oh, she's a distant relative. I don't really know the details of what happened to her, but she came here looking for help from my old man. But, you know, he's not around, so... I'm not buying a ridiculous story like that. Even if it were the case, why did she come to the Miya house? There's no way Kiritsugu had acquaintances from other countries. Hey, he wasn't a hermit or anything. She can't say that with any confidence, and she knows it. My old man travels constantly, so he probably had more friends from other countries than Japan. I can't say that for sure, but it still sounds fishy. So, why did you come here? Well, that... You shush, Sarah. Saber, right? I'm asking you. Saber is silent. I don't blame her. Saber doesn't really have a backstory, and she's not cunning enough to go along with my lies. I do not exactly know. I was only following Kiritsugu's orders. I guess she does. Huh. So Kiritsugu entrusted Shiro to you. Yes, I was told to protect Shiro from his enemies. Ever so quietly, Saber says it with such a straightforwardness and clarity. There's no room for anyone to protest. And even if it was really a lie, it will become the absolute truth in Saber's mind. Even Fujini can't argue with her. But... she stands up with a frown and glares right at Saber. Fine, if you're serious about this, I'll test your skills. Oh, okay. Fujini drops this on us all out of nowhere. And with the sound of whooshing wind, Fujini takes us outside. And then she takes the bamboo sword and shinai hanging on the wall and continues glaring at Saber. Okay. What the hell is Fujini thinking? You said you would protect Shiro, which means you must at least be somewhat disciplined, right? Are you telling me to take a sword? That's right, and I'll accept this if you prove you're stronger than me, but if you're weak, I'm sending you back home. I do not mind, but I do not see the sense in this. I'm supposed to be the one who protects Shiro. I'm going to be right by his side until he grows up to be a man. Saber doesn't seem to fully comprehend what Fujini's intentions are. Then again, none of us do. Like I said, I don't need anyone weaker than me around. If you say you're stronger than me, you should be more dependable, right? If you are, maybe I can entrust Shiro to you just a little. Fujini swings her shinai around with a pout. Understood. I just need to convince you, correct? That's right, but convincing will be no easy feat. No sooner has Fujini said that than she practically leaps forward, rushing towards Saber, brandishing her shinai. Whoa, Fujini, this is ridiculous! She goes in for a surprise attack even though she hasn't even given Saber a shinai yet. This tiger has no business calling herself a teacher if she's going to just pull something like that. Huh. Saber stands there in a daze, taken back by Fujini's surprise attack. Fuji swings for the body. Huh? Fujini tilts her head in confusion. Well, yeah. We're all dumbfounded. We're just watching, so it must be even stranger. Like the mystery of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon for Fujini, since she's the one who experienced it firsthand. Saber's still standing. The only difference is that she is now holding the shinai Fuji had in her hand a heartbeat earlier. For real? I don't know if this is for real, but it definitely happened. Saber isn't even holding the shinai. She took in a ready position. Fujini is frozen in her tracks right in front of Saber. Fujini is a kendo expert whose skill is supposedly unmatched. The experience probably made clear to her that Saber is on a completely different level. If you require me to take a stance, I shall, but I do believe you are skilled enough to realize I've already proved my point. Poor Fujini, she's really been the whipping girl this stream. Fujini staggers back and drops to her knees. The contest is over. Do you approve of me? Fujini slumps her shoulders and drops her head low. Just when I think she's about to retreat quietly, it's okay. Everyone loses occasionally. Some weird girl took shit away from me. Fuji starts to cry so loud it starts to hurt all of our ears. In the end, it took 2 hours to calm Fujini down. Fujini gestured to Saber, saying, "We need to talk," and went into my old man's room. They were in there for 2 hours. She finally came out looking unsatisfied and mumbled, "I guess I've got no choice to acknowledge her." She'd only nodded in resignation. Sakura, though, was silent the whole time. Right, yeah, Sakura. It was getting late, so Fujini wound up taking Sakura home, but Sakura didn't say a single word. She just bowed and went home. I'm going back to the outbuilding then. That's all Rin said. Come to think of it, Tosaka's been quiet all this time too. Sorry about that. I bet you're thinking I did something stupid. Again. Not really. The only thing you're doing is trying to add some unnecessary flab to your heart to make yourself feel better. If you keep on doing things like this, you're going to really get yourself into trouble. She waves goodnight and heads off to the outbuilding. I'm exhausted. I should probably sleep early today. Please wait, Shira. I would like to ask you something. Sure, what is it? Why did you introduce me to everyone? I agree with Lorenz that was unnecessary. No real rhyme or reason, I just didn't like how things were going, so I introduced you to everyone. Shira, you did not answer my question. You must tell me what you didn't like. Saber draws closer to me. Was what happened to Ed really so strange to her? The hell do I know? I was just eating. I didn't like knowing that you were all alone. If anything, I just thought we'd have less secret story about once Fujin and Sakura knew about you. That is most certainly futile, then. Being aware of my presence may well be detrimental. I'm able to conceal myself in this house, so it would be better for me to simply remain standing by. Better in what way? Is she saying she's better off being ostracized when the rest of us are all eating? That's not true. You might be fine with it, but I didn't like it. It's not a logic or sense. I look away from Saber. I'm going to go to the shed, so go ahead to your room. She doesn't answer. I turn my back on Saber, who seems unconvinced by what I said, and make my way to the shed. I step outside. The tranquil yard is lit by pale moonlight. The winter sky is clear enough to see the stars above me. I sigh, hardly realizing I'm doing it. Tosaka's right. I'm contradicting myself. I'm heading to the shed to avoid Saber's room. But I don't want to leave Saber alone. I'm having a hard time interacting with Saber as a member of the opposite sex, but I can't ignore her on a human level. It's no wonder Tosaka gets disgusted with me and my contradictions. Crap. I thought I was only inexperienced with MageCraft, but I'm also just generally immature too. I absentmindedly look up at the night sky. The night drags on. My inexperience is all the more reason I can't skip out on my training. All I can do is to keep on believing that if I work hard enough, I might someday attain something.